Hello, beautiful people. Now, if you just waking up, man, you missed a amazing CM Punk interview, maybe the best CM Punk interview. Yes, even better than a media scrum, even better than a Coca Cabana podcast. Blows all of those out of the water. We finally got some answers on a lot of the things that even this channel was like just built upon, the questions and the things we didn't know about with the whole CM Punk and the lead Tony Khan, Jack Perry drama. We got a lot of those answers. And today I am actually going to break down the top 10 things we learned from the MMA Hour CM Punk interview. If you appreciate me breaking this down, because I listened to the whole hour and 30 minutes twice. Yes, twice. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want 10 more things, help me get to 100 likes. If we get to 100 likes, I will drop the next 10 things, because there were so many gems, so many things we did not know in this thing. So again, hit that like button, get me to 100 likes, and I got you. Also, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, we try to hit 8,000 subs before the end of the week. We need 500 more people to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. I am sick while doing this, so you know what I'm saying. Show me your appreciation. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. Thank you so much. Now, thinking number 10. When exactly did he sign back with WWE? And that turns out to be the day of Survivor Series. Yes, CM Punk signed the deal the day of Survivor Series. It was one of those things where I believe he said that they didn't get into contact until that Monday of Thanksgiving week. Think about it like this. Monday was the day they first got in contact. Thursday was Thanksgiving. Saturday was Survivor Series. So that is amazing to even think about, the fact that all those references and none of those were actually true. It was like people were literally hitting him up thinking that he was coming back months before he even knew he was coming back. He was thinking, in our quote, he said, "Should I be tanning?" Like, he literally, those references were literally not for him. And it's just amazing to think that if that phone call just somehow didn't go through, or CM Punk wasn't near his phone for some reason, we would have never got that amazing moment at Survivor Series, because he ended up signing the day of Survivor Series. Thinking number 9, Bayley invited him to the Monday Night Raw in Chicago taping that he showed up to. If you don't remember, back in spring 2023, he showed up to a Monday Night Raw. That's the one where he got kicked out, and you can see a video of him with Tamina. They look like they kind of having a chit chat, and this is the meeting where this is the time where he met up with the Miz and Triple H. Now, given the fact that everything that happened with Collision and stuff, who knows if he denied this was him looking for a job. This was just so happened that it was in Chicago. He was on a flight with a lot of the guys, or the boys and the girls. So he decided to stop by. And it was actually, he made a joke that Bayley is the one who actually got him kicked out. It was all her fault. But yeah, it was not him looking for a job, but it was him just showing up and saying hi to some people he hasn't seen in a long time. And it was actually, he said that was his first time backstage at a WWE show since 2014, since the day he quit, which is crazy. Thinking number 8, some AEW people felt, and I quote, betrayed with CM Punk visiting backstage at Monday Night Raw. It shows you the childish nature and the tribalism in AEW. It's in both companies in some form or fashion, but more so AEW. Let's be honest. It's AEW is we're not the WWE company. Like, let's be totally honest. Now, yes, it's far and few between, but you see just in the reaction to this interview how quickly that these guys were tweeting and stuff like that. It's nasty. It's nasty. That's so childish to feel betrayed because he went backstage to say hi to some people when you had Chris. Like, he even said it himself. Like, Chris Jericho was on live television giving a tribute to John Cena. Daniel Bryan as well. Ricky Starks was backstage with Cody Rhodes when he won the Royal Rumble. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. This betrayed. Fuck out of here. Thinking number 7, how the triceps injury actually happened. Now, this is actually speculative, but I think his body language and his answer and his silence tells you everything you need to know. Ariel Helwani, I believe is how you say his name, asked him, was he injured prior to Brawl Out? Was he injured prior to the backstage fight? CM Punk couldn't say. It's in the NDA. And CM Punk said in this interview that there is no there the NDA isn't for anything that he did wrong. So that is crazy. That is amazing. This it should probably be higher up on the list if we're talking about shocking things, because the rest of the list, let's be honest, is kind of things that we already kind of knew. But him alluding to the fact that the backstage fight may have played a part in his injury is nuts to me. It's insane. It's really insane. Thinking number 7, how the Hangman Page beef actually started. Now if you haven't been living under a rock, you know how this beef started. It started when Hangman Adam Page went into business for himself and did that stupid workers' rights promo. But he actually goes into more depth and more detail about how they actually sat down before the show and did it. They scripted out a promo. He said he was very gracious in what they could say and what was allowed and stuff like that. Not allowed, but you know what I mean. Like giving him, like, being fair, because we all know if CM Punk really wanted to, he would demolish anybody in that company in a promo battle. But he gave him a lot of grace in what he could say. But when they went out there, Heyman Adam Page, of course, went into business for himself, completely caught CM Punk off guard. And it wasn't what he said that started the beef. It was the fact that he couldn't trust him anymore. It was the fact that he, like, you lied to my face. You just, like, double-crossed me on live television on our go-home show of the pay-per-view. People seem to forget that. Like, it was the go-home. It was the last show before their biggest pay-per-view at that time. It was the first pay-per-view to draw a million at the gate or whatever it's called. But that was like that was the biggest pay-per-view for that time. And Hangman on the Page damn near jeopardized it for going into business for himself, which I've been saying this whole time is fucking ridiculous. Thinking number 5, how the Jack Perry beef actually started. Now, again, this is one of those things that if you already knew, you already knew. But if you don't know, you've been living under a rock. The Jack Perry beef actually started when Jack Perry was going on a vacation and he wanted a way to write himself off television, and he wanted to use real glass. And I've heard that it was multiple people trying to tell him no, and eventually it got to the point where CM Punk, being the unofficial locker room leader, had to be the one to tell him no. But CM Punk actually goes into more detail, saying that Jack Perry allegedly cussed people out, cussed out Tony Schiavone and some other higher-ups, and Tony Schiavone actually came to catering begging for CM Punk to say something to him. And CM Punk said, if I handle this, you're not going to like the way I handle this. So he went to go handle it. Jack Perry, and because Tony Schiavone just kept begging him. So CM Punk went to go handle it. And when he went up to him, he was in a rented car. He knocked on a glass or something. He was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was like, yeah, but I thought it would be cool. And Punk was like, yeah, I'm sure it would be cool. But if you want to do that on Wednesdays. We're not doing that on Saturdays. Just think about it. It's a rented car. If you break this glass, if you break this glass, you could be jeopardizing some other wrestler wanting to rent the car. You're going to ruin renting cars for everybody else, and it's not safe, yada, yada, yada. It's a dumb idea. They actually had an agreement on that. They had an agreement up until All In, where Jack Perry double-crossed them. And are you sensing a pattern here? Are you sensing a pattern of guys having an agreement face-to-face behind the scenes, and then when on live television, they jump out of their neck? Thinking number 4, how the All-In fight actually went down. Now, you've heard a bunch of stories, and so have I, that CM Punk just went crazy, that as soon as Jack Perry went backstage, he just met a fist by CM Punk's face. Nah, CM Punk went into more detail. Long story short, he was in his locker room, heard it. He went up to Tony Khan and said, hey, are you going to handle this? Handle this, bro. I'm 45. I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of dealing with this shit. Handle this. Tony Khan, being the nice guy, being the guy who's never been in any conflict in his life, he asks, what do you want me to do about it? Be a fucking boss. That's what he wants you. That's what I want you to do. That's like, come on, bro. Like, just be a fucking boss. So CM Punk, he said, hey, if I handle this, y'all not gonna like how I handled it. Prophetic words, and they did not like how he handled it. Again, he denied that he punched anybody in the face. He just it was a shell sounding type of deal where it's like, I can't let you get too close for me. And if you've ever been in a fight, you know that's one of the number one rules, man. Don't let nobody get too close to you, because at that point, you know what I'm saying, anything can happen at that point. Never let somebody get too close. That's rules of fighting 1-on-1. That's rules of conflict 1-on-1. So anybody with a problem with him, put him in a what is that? A face choke or whatever it's called. You didn't like CM Punk to begin with. Let's be honest. Thinking number 3, and something I thought I knew already. CM Punk reveals he did not want to come back after Brawl Out. He felt like the people, the higher ups that he had a problem with, the elite per se, did not want him back, and he did not want to be back. He thought the collision separating the roster thing was pretty dumb, and everybody pretty much agrees with that. I can't knock him on that. That was pretty dumb. When I first heard the idea, it sounded pretty good because I grew up in the era of SmackDown versus Raw. Like, I'm staring at the video game cover right now as I speak. So, I love the idea of a brand split. But when you think about there's actual tension behind the scenes and you're going to split up the roster instead of actually sitting these people down and having a conversation, he was just telling Tony, just let me go. Like, he was telling Tony, let me go, bro. I don't want to be here. They don't want me here. Just let me go. But Tony Khan was so adamant on keeping him. I wonder why, if he wasn't going to change much. He wasn't going to change nothing. He thought throwing more money into it, throwing, like, them separating them was going to make it better. Nah, that only builds more tension. So, and then, hey, everything happened the way it happened. It's very sad, man. If they could have just sat down and had a conversation with him like he wanted to have, they could have made so much money. Just think about it. Drew McIntyre could be the Young Bucks right now. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Thingy number 2. CM Punk was close to a WWE return in 2019. Now, this was crazy to me. I've heard this before. I did hear from Meltzer, so it's got to get that Meltzer tax. You know what I'm saying? If Meltzer say something, you got to take that 10% away from it. It only could be true so much. But he's confirming this himself even before WWE backstage, before Nick Khan was even hired by WWE. He was a key figure in trying to bring CM Punk back into the fold. So this brings a lot of, new information to me, because I remember, if you were around, the only nervousness I had, the only sense of like nervous, I guess, for lack of a better word, that I felt about CM Punk coming back to WWE was that I heard that Vince McMahon didn't want him back. I heard that Vince McMahon didn't want him back, but now CM Punk saying they had a handshake deal. They had a handshake, like they had something in place for him to come back. I'm not sure exactly how it fell through, maybe the pandemic, maybe whatever. But yeah, that's crazy to think that we would have got CM Punk in WWE 4 years earlier. I don't know how that would have shaped out. I don't know. You could think about how bad the booking was at the time, but you could also think about like CM Punk versus The Fiend, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar again. Look how they did. Look how even the Vince McMahon era did for Cody Rhodes for the short amount of time he was there with them. So it's crazy to think about. We could have had, like, imagine if CM Punk came back that Survivor Series where I believe they were in Chicago. That's when the NXT was in the mix of the Survivor Series show. So that would have been amazing. But that's amazing that's why I love this interview. We learned so much. Again, hit that like button, help me get to 100 likes, man, and I'll reveal the other 10 things we learned. Number 1, he quit. He was not fired. That is a revelation to me. That is something I heard, but it's been alluded to, and you could have really guessed it for real. But to hear it out of his own mouth that CM Punk quit, he was not fired. Maybe, like, if you want to say that, like, if you want to say, okay, but he was really fired, he was terminated, okay, then he wasn't fired from WWE, because it went down the same exact way. He quit, he left, he didn't want to work there anymore, and then they later terminated him. That's what happened to WWE, and that's what happened to AEW. After the little scuffle with Jack Perry, CM Punk got up. And this is my favorite part right here. CM Punk got up. He turned to Tony Khan and said, "You're a fucking clown. I hate this place. This place is a joke, and I quit." So he quit before the Samoa Joe match, went back to his locker room, and out of respect for the referee and out of respect for Samoa Joe and the agent of the match, he completed the match, and he actually tried to stay. Like, he watched a couple matches backstage, but then the security guard asked him, like, hey, like, what are your plans? And Punk was like, would it make your job easier if I left? The security guard was like, hey, nobody's kicking you out, but yeah, it would. So he left, bought the guy some like, I've heard this story. I would guess it was from Jim Cornette. I think it was from Jim Cornette, which that's like the biggest thing I took from this was like, it's obvious that CM Punk uses Jim Cornette as his his microphone or whatever. They got the same lawyer. You can't tell me that he don't be telling him stuff. So yeah, those are the 10 things we learned from AEW, or from from CM Punk's interview with Ariel Helwani. Again, if you want 10 more things, I could easily cook that up for you because I watched this thing back to back. Hour and a half back to back. There was a lot of gems in this. There was a lot of content in this. But before I get out of here, again, we need 100 likes on this video. Those are the things that we learned from this. It's what an amazing interview. Ariel Helwani is a top 10 instigator of all time. Appreciate Ariel Helwani. If you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Have a beautiful night. Sub to Act. Peace.